Welcome to day one. So, today we're going to talk about overcoming denial and rationalization. We, when we love somebody, we always rationalize their behavior. And we also rationalize why we're with them. We do that. We really do. So, what I want to do is to first off, I'm going to teach you about it. I want you to educate yourself by listening, okay? Soak it in. Do not judge it. Do not be like, I don't do that. No, don't judge it. Really, just listen up and then think like, maybe. So, it's crucial for you to overcome it, because if you don't overcome denial, you're going to stay in this relationship with the guy or the girl, whoever you with that's a narcissist. You're going to stay in this relationship and you're going to keep going through this with them. So first step is to just overcome denial. Stop denying it and stop rationalizing it. So overcoming denial and rationalization in a narcissistic relationship can be challenging, but is a crucial step towards healing and regaining control of your life. Here are some strategies to help you. Understanding and awareness. Educate yourself, just like what you're doing right now. Learning about narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, and its traits will help you understand the behavior patterns, which is helpful for you to recognize them in your relationship. Read books, articles, and watch videos by experts on narcissistic abuse and recovery. Even after you finish taking this class, continue your education. Number 2, acknowledge the reality, okay? One thing I cannot stand is when the person protects the abuser. And I get it, you have cognitive dissonance, you don't know, you're confused, I get it. But that's the reason why you're here now. So accept that you are in a relationship with a narcissist and that their behavior is abusive. Reflect on the pattern of manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional abuse you have experienced from them, okay? Emotional and psychological steps. So here are some steps that you can take. Trust your feelings. Pay attention to your emotions and intuition. If something feels wrong, it's most likely wrong, okay? Validate your feelings without judgment. Don't judge them. Don't go up in there talking about, well, maybe I'm just overreacting. No, you're not, okay? Acknowledge that your pain and confusion is real and significant. Challenge rationalization. When you start rationalizing, you need to challenge that, okay? What you're going to do is identify that the rationalization that you're coming up with for the narcissist behavior is not logical, all right? One of the things you want to make sure you don't do is say to yourself, they're just stressed. Well, they didn't mean it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. If they had negative things come out of their mouth, it first forms in their mind as a thought before it blabs out of their mouth. Even if they don't have time to process what they said, it still came as a thought first. So they knew it was there before it came out, all right? Also, if they hit you, before they pound your face or your body or slam you somewhere, they had to get into a rage that they felt inside of them brewing up. They could have controlled that, but they chose not to. So they did mean it, all right? You also want to write down these rationalizations, and then you want to count them, and you want to make sure that they're counted with the reality of the behavior and the impact that it has on you. So basically, you're going to write down every time you rationalize, start writing it down. And then you're going to look at it and say, the reality of the situation is they really did do it though. So when you say, oh, they didn't mean it, okay, that's rationalizing. Then you say, well, wait a minute, but they actually did it. Now that's the reality, all right? And the reality is what's real, not the rationalization. That's false. Then you're going to journal. So journaling, you're going to keep a journal of every incident that you can think of. And if you can't remember them all, it's okay. Start from today and start journaling the incidents of your feelings and your responses of your feelings. Like, how did you respond to what the narcissist said to you, or what the narcissist did? How did you respond to that? What was your feelings about that? So write it down. And what this does, this can help you see patterns and for you to validate your experiences. That way it helps you to stop rationalizing. And you want to write. Oh, it would also help. The writing itself will also help you clarify your thoughts and your emotions. And it makes it easy for you to confront denial. Once you start seeing it written down, I watched this movie last night. Tyler Perry, he just made this movie, and it's called Divorce in the Black, with Megan Good and Corey, Tia Murray, her ex-husband. And when I watched the movie, I probably shouldn't have watched it tired, because I was really tired last night. I just came from a long trip that shouldn't have been long. We was delayed because of the weather in Houston, and we had to divert somewhere, and I was just so over it. And one thing about me, once it's like after 10:30, 11 o'clock, especially around the 12:30 mark, I kind of like shut down. My brain just goes into like that, and anything can trigger me at that moment. I'm like, I'm just triggered. Like, leave me alone. I get grouchy. That's what I'm trying to say. So I watched the movie, and I sat in the bed, and my husband, he's in Vegas right now, and he's doing the Columbine. He's doing the Columbine for, the NBA and all that. That's what he's out there coaching and everything. So I'm in the house by myself, and I'm like, hey, watch this movie. I didn't want to watch it with my husband. So I don't know if I should watch it with my husband, because I don't want it to trigger him, because he did see the videos of my ex-husband hitting me, and his response to that, he already told me, how he felt about it. So I didn't want to watch that with him if it was going to happen in the movie. I wasn't quite sure, but what I read online and how people, the reviews and everything people said, so I realized that maybe I shouldn't watch that with him. Maybe I shouldn't. Let me just not watch that with him, So I'm gonna watch it by myself. But I started triggering. I started feeling triggers come on. From the first scene, the guy, the way he was talking to her at that funeral, the way he just his whole body language was the one thing that I experienced. I experienced that with my ex-husband at church, because he was mad because my son, at the time was my nephew before I adopted him, we had just gotten him from CPS. He had laid his head on my lap. And I just held him because he's on my left side. So I held him, and my ex-husband's on my right side, right? I'm sitting in the middle of them two. And I touched my ex-husband's lap with my hand, and he pulled himself back like, don't touch me. And I was thinking, like, what did I do? But what it was that he was jealous of the affection I was giving to my son. And he didn't like that. But that movie brought back that memory for me. And I instantly started questioning myself, should I continue to watch this movie, or should I not watch this movie? Because I don't want something like this to continue to trigger me. Am I really over the situation with my ex, or am I just going through a little withdrawal of having flashback moments? So I said, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and continue watching this movie, because this is educational for me. And then that way I can draw from it and teach you guys more about what I'm already teaching you. So that's exactly what I started doing. So every time I started getting a little trigger, I started using it as my way of seeing things the way they are. Hold up. she's allowing this man to be this way with her. Because when the guy showed up, her long-term friend showed up, she immediately got scared knowing that her husband was in the building and that he can see her with the guy at any time, even though all she was doing was just saying hello. And I know that feeling as well. So what I'm saying is that it comes a time when you have to realize that your emotions and your feelings are definitely valid and you should not discard them. All right, let's keep going. So we're going to talk about building support and seeking help. Remember, I told you that you don't tell anybody about you taking this course until week 5. I'm going to teach you now about why you should not tell no one until next week. And the reason for that is because I said it was for your protection, right? Well, let me explain this part first, and then I'm going to tell you why you start telling people in week 5. So, building support and seeking help, you're going to seek support. You're going to talk to trusted friends and family members who can provide perspective and support. Then you're going to join a support group, which you should already be in the group, the group form already. But you can also join another support group in person if you need one. But you can do online and you can do in person. So, and if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. Do that. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable and safe, okay? Your safety is always first. And you want to, wherever you can share your experience. Basically, if you can share your experience online and you feel more comfortable that way, you can do that. If you feel like you need to be in someone's face and talk to them, then do that as well. So you want to seek support, all right? Then you also want to seek professional help, all right? It's not going to stop at just talking to somebody that's a friend or someone that you just met online. You want to seek somebody who is actually an expert in this area, that has been there, who knows about what this is about. So you're going to consider therapy or somebody who specializes in abuse and trauma, because you definitely experienced trauma. Even if you don't think you have. And they can provide any kind of guidance and help you cope, any kind of tailored situation to help you tailor some techniques for yourself. I'm going to teach you some techniques here in this course. But if you want to keep it going and keep on going, you can keep repeating the techniques that I give you, but you can also gain new techniques from other therapists and other licensed therapists or whatever, someone who can help you. So what a therapist can do, they can help you process your emotions. If you're wondering, what a therapist for what? They can help you process your emotions, because you don't really understand why your emotions is all over the place. They can help you process that and develop a plan for moving forward. Okay? This course, you will develop a plan to move forward. But with a therapist right there, you will be able to keep yourself grounded and have someone who can hold you accountable for your plans, and to give you more resources on what you can do, who you can talk to. I'm going to share some resources with you too. So I'm not just giving you information, I'm also helping you do the work, all right? So here are some practical steps that you could take. First, you want to set some boundaries. You're going to establish clear boundaries with the narcissist, communicating your limits, and stick with them, even if it's difficult. You want respect is what you're actually going after, okay? So boundaries help you protect your emotions and your physical well-being. That's why boundaries are very important. Then you're going to focus on self-care. Recognize you're going to prioritize activities that nurture your well-being, such as exercises. So if you haven't been exercising, let's get started, all right? You're going to find a hobby, something that you enjoy doing. If you like to paint and you haven't painted in a while, okay, let's get started with painting again. Let's start over. Let's get it together. If you like to draw, if you like to garden and you want to plant some vegetables or whatever, then let's find a hobby. All right, what is it you actually like doing? I like roller skating. Sometimes I got some roller skates, and sometimes I just go roller skate. Find something that you enjoy doing. So you want to, or you maybe like to spend time with your loved ones. You haven't been around your family members in a while. Take a trip. Go see your family members. If you got children, take your kids with you, okay? And start practicing being away from the narcissist on your own. And that's going to start giving you what you actually need with the boundary setting, all right? So you're going to practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques to reduce stress and improve your mental health. I already showed you how to do the mindfulness, so definitely continue with that, all right? And then you're going to plan for the future. So this is the most important part of this course, is learning to plan for your future. You're going to consider your options for the future, including the possibilities of leaving the relationship if it's safe to do so. You know if it's safe to leave that guy. I always say the guy, but I told you that I was going to use the guy the most because of the fact that I'm a woman and I dealt with a man that's narcissist. I also dealt with a woman, which is my mother, but the point is that I didn't date my mother. And I can easily, deal with her. I know how to deal with her. But to be in a relationship laying down next to the enemy is the problem, okay? So you want to make sure that you can leave safely. You have to put together a plan. I'm going to teach you how to put together a solid plan, okay? And then you want to also create a safe plan if you decide to leave, including financial and logistic preparations. So if you feel that you're not able to leave, it's okay. Because in good timing, you will be out of that relationship and you will still be safe and you will be healthy and your children will too. But this course, even though it's 13 weeks, it might take longer. It's okay. What you're doing is building your mind ready for the exit. You're getting yourself ready to exit. And that's what you're going to be doing the whole time while you're still there, is preparing your exit. It takes time to get there. Sometimes some people can just leave like that and be out of there. But then there's times when you might be like, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I need to have something. I can give you a story. When I realized that I was going to leave my first husband, well, actually, he left me. And, you would think that I should have left him. But what ended up happening in the very last days of our relationship, the last months, was that I was done with him too. And we fought a lot. We did a lot of fighting. Oh, it was just different than the second relationship. The first marriage is the reason why the second marriage happened. I'm put like that because I thought that if I do things differently than the way I did it the first time, maybe, just maybe, I won't have the situation happen with us fighting all the time. If I be more passive and not so aggressive, maybe. But I was wrong. Anyways, the very first marriage, we fought like cats and dogs. We was in our early 20s, 23 years old. What you expect, Freshly on our own, it's whatever. But the thing is that when we was married, I had a job. And then he talked me out of not working and told me, hey, just go back to school and I'll pay all the bills and you just go back to school. And I was like, with it. Okay, cool, that's fine. I really want to work no way, But it came with a price. And the price was that he managed the money where I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And when I wanted to go to the store and buy an outfit or something, we got into arguments. We will fight behind anything that I bought that he didn't agree upon. So you know what? Enough is enough. I'm finna go get me a job. I'm not finna sit here and play with this dude. And that's exactly what I did. I went and got a job. We fought about that. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the story about that. If you really want to know that story, go on my podcast And the episode where I talk about my first marriage, then you can hear the whole story. But I'm just letting you know we did go through our changes, and when I realized I was ready to get a job, and he tried to get me fired from that job, but I started planning the exit. Like, I'm gonna have my own money. I'm not gonna be out here all broke and trying to figure it out. No, I'm better than this. I'm gonna start now. And that's what I did. I started planning for the future. You also have to have cognitive reconstruction. It's time for you to reconstruct your mind. And that's what we're doing. We're reconstructing your mind right now. So what you're going to do is refrain from negative thoughts. And how are you going to do that? You're going to work on changing negative thought patterns about yourself that the narcissist may have instilled in you. Those are not your words. Those are the narcissist's words that you're saying to yourself. So what you're going to do, now it's time for the other book, 365 Days of Mindfulness, your daily affirmation. So what you're going to do is you're going to read this book. Yes, it's pretty thick, but the thing is that it's affirmation. It's one affirmation a day for 365 days. So for a whole year, there's affirmation in this book that tells you how to think and how to act and what to believe about yourself, so you can counteract all the negative thoughts. And that's what you're going to do. Just take anything that you can relate to from the book. You don't have to start from page 1 all the way down. You can even use the same affirmation over and over and over and over again. That's up to you. So, but what you're going to do, you're going to replace shame and blame and self-doubt with self-compassion and affirmation of worthiness for yourself. So that's what the book is going to do for you. You're also going to focus on your strengths. So reflect on your strength and accomplishments, because you accomplished something in your life. I know you have. So reflect on those things. And remember that you are capable in your resilience. You can bounce back from this, all right? So we're going to celebrate small victories about yourself, small little journeys towards recovery and self-empowerment. You're going to celebrate these things about yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Good job, all right? So stay committed to the change. You have to stay committed to the change, because if you don't, you're going to result backwards and you're going to spiral out of control. And you don't want that. So please stay committed to the process. Trust the process, all right? So stay committed. Recognize that overcoming denial and rationalization is a process that takes time. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take some time. It might take a year. Just telling you. So just understand that. Be patient with yourself and stay committed to healing in this journey. You're going to stay committed to this, even if it feels challenging. It is going to feel challenging. You're going to be feeling like it's hard. Maybe you're wasting your time, but you're not. You're not. I've been there. That's why I'm telling you you're not. I'm not there anymore. But I was, and I know what it was like when I was rationalizing and I was in denial. This dude ain't abusive to me. I don't put up with abusive men, and I was. And when it came to reality that, wait a minute, I am really dealing with abusive man, I got to get out of this. When I came to realization of it, I started making the changes. So overcoming denial and rationalization in a narcissistic relationship involves a combination of self-awareness, emotional support, trying to find the word, but anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Professional help and practical steps by acknowledging the reality of the situation, seeking support, and focusing on self-care. You can begin to reclaim your self-worth, your life, and move towards healing and empowerment. So remember that you are not alone and that help is available to you. So tomorrow will be day 2, and we're going to talk about recognizing personal boundaries and when they are violated. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow.